Everyday Gourmet. I'm Mr. Sykes, and today we're making chicken parmesan. Chicken parmesan is one of my favorite year-round, anytime meals that's really simple and fun to make. So, let's go. So what we're going to do now is flatten the chicken breast so it's evenly around the casserole dish or the pan that we're going to be using, and also so it cooks more evenly. So what I have here on top of my plastic cutting board is, and you never want to cut or prepare chicken on wood or anything porous. Something you want to use something that you can wash off. So I have right here some plastic wrap that's on top of my board, and there's just a little bit of overhang so that I can cover the chicken and not get splattered with meat juice. And if you want to take a mallet, if you don't have a mallet, you can use a really hard glass. If you have one, like or a mug to pound out the chicken, work just fine. So you want to start from the end and work your way around until the chicken is less. And always you want to check your plastic wrap just to make sure it's not coming out. Okay, so now what we're going to do is season our chicken. And what we have here is Himalayan salt, lemon pepper, and a little bit of adobe goya. The seasoning with the red top is the one that you want to look for. We're going to season both sides of the chicken, and then we're going to get ready to prepare it to fry. Let's start with our salt. Season liberally, and we're also going to season again with our breading, which we're going to do in a second. Chicken parm is something that my mom used to make all the time, something that we probably got at least once a week growing up. So this is my take on her recipe, and it's just a really simple, easy way to do it. If you have a little time but you don't want to spend all night in the kitchen, this is one of those things that looks like you spent a lot of time and you really didn't. Put that in there, other side, and then also, and I'm just going to put it in my hand. One side of the chicken, flip it back, but I'm gonna flip it back over and make sure I got this other side pretty good too. Make sure it's well seasoned. I have the rest of it there. So now we're gonna coat our chicken breasts in our breading so we can fry them and get further along in the process of making the chicken parm. Like, the fried chicken breast is the star of the dish. So what we have here is about 1.5 cups of flour, seasoned again with some adobo, and we have Italian seasoned breadcrumbs along with an egg wash. In my egg wash, I like to use about, don't call me crazy, but use a teaspoon of mayo, just to have a bit more of a sticky quality. Mayo is just eggs and oil, so why not throw another egg in there? So it's just 1 egg, a couple tablespoons of butter, and some mayo. Run it around with a whisk or a fork, and then we have our nice sticky egg wash. We're gonna get ready to do our process with our dredging with our chicken. So you want to take your chicken breast and coat it in the flour first. And I like to keep a wet hand and a dry hand, basically just so your hands don't get all caked up with flour. This is a pretty large chicken breast, so I've got to turn it a couple times, shake off the excess, and then over here into our egg wash. And I'm, messed it up already. So this is going to be a wet hand now. Wet hand. Make sure the chicken gets all coated. Into the dry, I'm going to use the hand I didn't put into the egg wash to coat our chicken breast with some breadcrumbs. long. This is a pretty big one, so I just want to make sure it's completely coated. And then you're going to shake off the excess and put it in just like a little tray or something to let the breading set and rest for a few minutes. And we're going to keep going and coating all 3 of our chicken breasts. So now our chicken is all coated in our breading and we're ready to fry. One of our most essential tools in this frying process is going to be a strainer or a colander with some paper towel or kitchen towel inside. That's what we're going to put our chicken in after it's been frying for a few minutes to dredge out all of that oil before we put it into our pan to bake. So now we're going to head over to our fryer and get our frying oil to get our chicken ready to go in the oven. Now we're ready to fry. So our oil is hot. I have it here in a large frying pan. A little bit of vegetable or canola oil, whatever you have on hand. And I'm slowly going to put these in, one piece at a time, moving the oil, the end of the piece of chicken away from me so the oil doesn't splash towards me. A lot of people get nervous. And put it close to the pan. You don't want to drop it down from up high, then you're definitely going to get some splash back. And the last part of the chicken that goes in, make sure it's going in away from you. See? Not so scary. We're going to leave these to about 3 or 4 minutes on each side. We're going to turn them over and then put them in our colander to dry and the next batch. You want to do 3 or 4 pieces at a time so it doesn't bring down the temperature of the oil in the pan. So now we're going to start the process of layering our parmesan to bake in the oven. And I'm just using out of the can, no muss, no fuss, pasta sauce. And I'm going to take a spoon and coat the bottom of my dish with a little bit of this pasta sauce. And then I'm going to take some of my chicken, and you may notice that the chicken I have here is cut somewhat irregularly, and that's for a reason. We all know that we have different size eaters and picky eaters in our family, so I don't want to make everything too uniform when I know, like, certain people are only going to eat like a small piece, or like somebody wants like a really big piece, or might want to have seconds. So I just do that instead, because it doesn't really matter how they're shaped in your dish. And I'm adding a little bit of shredded Parmesan cheese right here on top. And this is going to go off into, she's here like, go off into a 350 degree oven for about 30 minutes. All the cheese is melted. There we go. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. So as you can see, our chicken parm is out of the oven. It's cooling down on the stove top. The cheese is nice and melted. The sauce is nice and bubbly. So here I have just a package of fettuccine that I'm going to add to this water that's been boiling here on the stove. And you will let it go to this nice and al dente, which basically means that it's boiled down, that it's loose, and that it has a little bit of bite to it. You don't want it to be, got this all over the place, but that's okay, complete mush when you bite into it. And just a good way to tell if it's done is just to take a little piece out and taste it. If it tastes kind of floury or starchy, it's not quite ready yet. Another way is to throw it against the wall and see if it sticks. I don't know if you want to mess up your wall like that, but that's a good way to tell if it's done as well. If it tastes like mush, it's kind of overdone at that point. You can still use it. It's still edible, but it's going to be a little mushy. So now we're just going to wait for our pasta to get al dente, and we're ready to serve. Alright, and so here we have our finished product. And let's just go ahead and dig into this. And this is that picky eater's plate that we were talking about. He doesn't like too much sauce.
Yeah.
Look at your hands. Wow, this is really good. Chicken is seasoned really well, like the fry is great, and the sauce is really like smooth. And it tastes like amazing. And it was really simple to do. What do you think?
No, that's really good. You know, it's really good that it comes apart like that. No need for like a knife or anything like that. And then the cheese is like melty, but then it adds like an extra like little crust to the already super crunchy fried chicken.
Yeah, he's right. Like you don't need a knife. It's like fork finger. Amazing. So thank you guys for making chicken parm with us, and this is Everyday with Rick.